Where do you put the stuff? Where's it hook up to? The ground?
That's the dump area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fitter's full, you know?
Or they're draining the
Yeah, this is gray water.
Real quick, if you haven't watched part 1 of our van life adventure, detailing our trip through the Oregon coast, the Willamette Valley wine country, Crater Lake National Park, please go back and watch part 1 before you watch part 2, and I'll leave a link in the description below.
Alright, so we got gas, finally, and now we're driving. But guess who's the passenger princess now? It's me. And someone else is driving the big rig, old Big Bertha. So now we are in God's country out here on our way to good old Boise, Idaho. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't think I can do it. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong. As the passenger princess, I was responsible for doling out crackers and cheese, and I'm now responsible for finding us a place to sleep tonight. The top contender is probably a truck stop, but we'll find out. How are we feeling about all things van life?
So far, so good.
So far, so good?
Yeah.
Do you feel confident in our abilities to do this as like a more of a regular thing? What?
I don't think I could live in a van and not have a home base because...
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that would be tough. I think, you know, it would be an interesting way to travel for like stretches at a time.
Yes.
But
I
you see,
us doing like a month or something.
I think we as a unit are working quite well together. What do you think?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
I have no complaints.
Yeah, no, I think it's been good. And I think, you know, this is probably the most amount of time we've spent in a really confined, you know, area.
I will say that people that do this have to be very comfortable with each other.
You do have to be very comfortable with each other. You're gonna be going to the bathroom around each other. There's you know, certain privacy things that are kind of just gonna go away, and you need to sort of be okay with it. And I think ultimately you do have to work well together. I think you have to understand where the other person's at and complement that. And, you know, sometimes you're the one who's doing it, sometimes they're the one who's doing it. You know, it's a journey, right?
Yeah, I think so far we're doing good.
So far our journey's going pretty well.
We spent the rest of the afternoon and evening continuing on our journey through eastern Oregon, taking advantage of every opportunity we could to spot wild animals and plenty of farm animals along the way.
But they're right here. He's right there. Hi.
Ladies, how we doing?
Before arriving at our final destination for the day of Boise, Idaho to get settled in for the night.
Alright, well, shout out to the fine people of Hotel 28 in Boise, Idaho for not really allowing us to stay there, but we stayed there anyway, in the parking lot, of course. And the good thing about that is we could fill up old Bertha with some much needed gas. And look at this windshield. Holy shit. It's unbelievable the amount of it's early, bugs. Shut up at 6:30. I haven't had coffee yet. That have died on our windshield. And not only is it disgusting, look at this too. It's all over the place. Not only is it disgusting, it's making it difficult to drive. So we're gonna try and clean that off as best we can. It's gonna be difficult. Thank you. Say good morning. Somebody's not really awake yet.
We spent the rest of the morning walking and driving around Boise, exploring everything that we could. Karen, of course, thought I was going to get arrested for taking this footage of the State House. And even though I'm not much of a sweets guy, I do consider myself to be a bit of a donut connoisseur. And before we left town, had to stop by the wonderful Guru Donuts and pick up a few to try, particularly this s'mores one, which I was so intrigued by that I couldn't help myself but to review it.
Here it is. I figured the only way to attack it is to put it on a plate and cut it. So I'm going to do that now. Oh, also, this knife has been my security knife in the van for the last couple of nights. I keep it right by the bedside over there, just in case, you know, because I don't have a gun. So, not that I think we need one. It's just the matter of, it doesn't hurt to have a little security, you know? And I figure a little I honestly don't even know if I would use it in the moment. I've never been in that kind of a situation. I don't know that I would actually use this thing, but it makes me feel better knowing it's here, which I know is what everybody's. I'm just talking into a hole at this point.
Yeah, let's just get the donut.
You want a little piece?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. You do it first.
What? You're not gonna eat it? After I went to all this effort
Oh, Lord.
to cut this fucking monstrosity of a donut? Alright. It's kind of a whole lot of nothing. Try this bit here. Okay. That's a much better donut. Try a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
That's much better.
Yeah.
As much as it may not make sense, the marshmallow ruins the s'mores
I
donut.
feel like it should be in the middle, maybe.
I feel like some kind of marshmallow filling
Yeah.
would be better for this.
Yep.
I probably won't eat the rest of this, but there it is.
It is.
Well, they can't all be good days, can they? Because let me tell you something. Today has been a day. What do you think?
Been a day.
Today started off nice. We were driving through Boise, seeing the lovely city and the hills and all the lovely development that's going on, and maybe one day going to take over the Boise foothills. I don't really know. But lovely time in Boise. We get on the road to Jackson, getting there by 3:45 p.m. Perfect. We get on the road and we start thinking,
No, it was like 4:30-ish.
I don't think that's true. Okay, whatever, 4:30, fine. It doesn't really matter because that has changed. What happened afterwards was, as we got on the road, we realized, okay, we're gonna have to dump our gray water at some point. For those of you that don't know, gray water is the water from like the sink and the shower and all that good stuff. It's been a couple days, so we decided to stop and dump them and refill our freshwater tank. That turned into a bit of a fiasco when we dumped the gray water and we dumped our black water tank, which is, waste. Dumped that. What?
Oops.
Yeah, it's poops, it's peas, it's
I know.
just those two.
So far.
What else would it be? What else would it be? Talk louder, lady.
No,
Talk
I'm done.
louder.
Pick out.
God, alright, yeah, hang on, there's some more cows. What's up, fellas? I guess they wouldn't be fellas if they're cows. Cows.
Oh, freak no.
Cows are females.
Whatever. Just continue.
Oh my god. Anywho, we had a question as we're finishing up filling our freshwater tank. We dumped the gray water, we dumped the black water, we flushed the black water tank with the hose provided in the van, and then we filled up our freshwater with that same hose. Only upon finishing that did I think, should I be using the same hose for non-potable and potable water? So we reached out to our lovely hosts for this van, and they, long story short, they weren't a ton of help.
They said it was safe to use the same hose. They said it was safe. We are not 100% comfortable doing that.
Yeah, I don't love the idea of using the same hose for potable and non-potable. And spoiler alert, I ended up asking somebody who works at Camp World about this, and they said it's fine to do. I still don't like it, so I'm probably not going to do it. Anywho, that delayed us quite a bit getting on the road because we spent more time there than I really wanted to. Part of the issue, and it's great if you're in a car or a truck in Idaho, but speed limit on all the interstates is 80 miles an hour. Old Bertha here, I question whether she's safe at 80 miles an hour. So we've been kind of keeping her in like the 70s. So that's kind of add to our projected time. There was the stop there. We had to stop for gas. We were gonna check. There's a whole bunch of animals here, man. Look at that. Alpacas. Those
are they real?
That is an alpaca farm.
Holy shit.
Wow.
So while at Camping World, we decided to get...
Well, hang on. We didn't even get to Camping World yet.
Oh.
Because we, upon the request of our lovely van host, was that we needed, since we flushed the Blackwater tank, which she alleges we weren't supposed to do, or she recommended us not to do. She didn't recommend us not to do that.
She
But
just said that we probably could last a week without having to dump the Blackwater tank.
yeah, she said we probably don't have to, but we figured since we were there, we could, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Apparently, it was a big deal.
Because she never said that once you dump it, you have to put air fresheners in it.
So, like, I basically add like a drop-in tablet that breaks everything down, deodorizes, and all that good stuff. Which is not in the van. I'm not sure why it's not in the van, but it's not in the van. So long story short, we keep driving and we end up at a Camp World where they have free dumping and water fill up, and we picked up a different hose to use in the future, and we also picked up some of those tablets. What that has done now, what was, if you say 4:30, what that all has done now is put us at 6:30 projected time in Jackson, Wyoming. Oh, and the weather's looking great moving forward. So it's been a little tense here in the car at times. There's been some levity in the last little while. We've kind of rallied a little bit, I think. Yeah, it was a little tense earlier. At some point I wound up, but we're not gonna I'm not gonna use that. Sometimes you gotta do things just to see what kind of reaction you get, and that was a pretty good one. We're trying to keep it light, trying to keep it moving here, and we'll wind up in Jackson eventually, so we'll check in a bit.
Arriving in Wyoming later in the day than anticipated meant that we probably weren't going to get a hike in before dark, which would prove to be a theme throughout the rest of the trip. But in any event, we tried to enjoy the rest of the drive, which consisted of some rolling hills, some very scenic little towns, some tight turns on some switchbacks that Karen was not thrilled about before arriving here.
I mean, am I right? Look at this place. It's pretty awesome. What do you think?
Beautiful.
I'm not exactly sure what to expect. Yeah, I'd seen pictures of the mountains before, but it's pretty wild to see. Grand Tetons. Here we are.
Here we are.
Beautiful scenery. Beautiful lady. Beautiful man. How about that? Skull?
Skull.
When you travel, it's important to immerse yourself in the local culture, which in this case meant Bluegrass Tuesday at the Silver Dollar Saloon, some drinks, of course, and, a bunch of dancing that I, of course, didn't partake in. Don't make me talk about the $1 Million Cowboy Bar. Please don't go there.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Making breakfast here in Grand Teton National Park. Don't mind me.
We have this beautiful view over here.
Had some breakfast. A nice mountain view. I'm just enjoying my coffee. I gotta say, this is better with sunglasses on. I see why Casey Neistat does it. As you can't tell, I'm looking at the screen right now. Yeah, so today we're gonna this morning gonna do a hike here in Teton, and then day one in Yellowstone. Looking forward to that. How do you think we're doing so far?
I think we're doing great. I think we're fine. We had a little snafu yesterday, but we moved past it.
Yeah.
And I think we're good.
You tried to get me up
Get your ass
earlier
up earlier this
than
morning.
our agreed upon wake up call. Response?
You're right.
Ass.
Gotta get the day moving. We got a lot to get accomplished today.
I know. Somebody's getting a hat today.
Maybe. We'll see.
I think you look good in a hat.
I don't know. If I get my hair cut short, it might look like bald.
Like bald. I think you should get a hat.
We'll see. If we
I think it'd be very
fitting.
fitting. Again, I don't think it should be the curled sides.
Yeah, the more I think about
Like
it, if
a
I do
drunk
get
chick
one,
on a bachelorette party.
if they are able to fit me in for a fitting, then we'll see. If not, then it's fine.
We still got Montana to contend with, so.
Are there hat places in Montana? Are they west
Oh,
too?
I cannot. Yeah, we got a geography lesson. Still hasn't happened yet, but Jesus Christ, do we need one? Yeah, we had our little snafu yesterday. It's been a little tense at sometimes. just,
I don't think it's been terrible though. I think we've been fine. And that wasn't even about the van yesterday. It was about your damn shoes. And the water pump.
There was a little issue about my shoes.
But that was really it.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's what started it. And in the end, aren't you glad I told you to change your shoes because of all the damn flies?
Let's not start this again. Let's let dying horses be, or whatever that phrase is.
In case it wasn't already blatantly obvious, we are well past the point in the trip at which Karen and I started to mentally unravel.
Dead horse I don't know what it is.
No, it's beating a dead horse. Let's sleeping.
Something why? Let's sleeping.
It's not horses. Is it cows? Sleeping cows lie?
I love cows.
I know you love cows. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a stupid phrase that doesn't matter.
I don't know.
I don't know. Sleeping dogs. It's let sleeping dogs lie. We just realized that. I turned the camera off when we figured it out. Okay, that's all.